How would one learn Kriya Yoga? Can a person just go on the internet and maybe learn it that way through perhaps YouTube or something like that?
That's a good question. And I've seen people try to learn Kriya that way. I suppose you can try to learn it that way, but what we're talking about here is, again, it's a whole way of life. It's a whole approach to life. And the technique of Kriya itself, which really is a relatively small part of it and very important part of it, it's not mechanical in giving results. And I have to say, I've met people who have learned it on the internet, the Kriya technique, and I can't say that I've seen very good results with that. You really need a divine instructor, a guide. This is what the guru is. This is what Yogananda, he was, and he is to those of us who practice Kriya Yoga as part of Ananda Sangha. And a good analogy is that, first of all, the internet makes a very bad guru. I can say that from experience. People get very confused and they just mix and match, and there's just a lot of wrong information on the internet. I think we all know this. And I have a friend who's a doctor, and the internet is kind of like what he was taught in medical school, where at the end of medical school, this very wise professor said that, 20 years from now, you're going to discover, and the advancement of medicine is going to discover, that half of what you've learned in these last 4 years is no longer true, and it really wasn't. And the problem is that you don't know which half is true and which half isn't, and you have to use your awareness and intuition and have a wise teacher guiding you even all along the way. And another way of looking at it, which I talk about in the book, is that in America, when you are defending yourself in a court, people mostly just hire a lawyer to defend yourself and prepare the case for the judge or the jury. But in America, you have the right to act as your own attorney or your own lawyer, the person who's being charged. And the lawyers and others say about such people that such a person has a fool for a lawyer, and which is themselves. And that's what it's like when we think that we can be our own guru, because where we're coming from is not from a point of spiritual perception. And so we do need a guide, and we do need a teacher, a guru. And so there's a process of learning Kriya that's really part of a whole body of practice, of techniques, of knowledge, of understanding. And so it's very important to learn Kriya Yoga from a teacher, and just to have someone guiding you. And it doesn't have to be a living guru. Some people say, oh, you need a living master for a guru. And I've seen plenty more than good results from people with Ananda Sangha who Yogananda is our guide and guru, and even he's not living anymore. But we do need a whole set of practices that are given and taught and guided by wiser people than us. And one of the advantages of Ananda Sangha that I've seen is that we have people who have been practicing Kriya as a whole way of life for many decades, who help to guide us and help us to take the steps on the journey and guide, answer questions, show how to put it all together. And then again, we all have to take it home to our own meditation room, to our own life, and integrate these things into our own life. But it's very important. It's more than helpful. It's essential really to have somebody guiding us along the way, and to have a whole set of teachings along with this teacher guiding us through these practices and answering questions. And again, I have to say this, I've seen this from results, that I haven't seen very good results, and I've sometimes seen very negative results from people who think that they can learn Kriya online on their very own, or that they can be their own guru. I tried that before I came to Ananda Sangha. I thought I could be a hermit up in the mountains of California and just be my own teacher. And yeah, I found, like many others, that I had a fool for a guru in the end, and that I needed somebody wiser guiding me in this whole process.
Thank you, Devarshi. Beautiful.